When we think of traffic accidents, we think drunk drivers. But surprisingly, the vast majority of car crashes are caused not by driving while intoxicated, but while driving while distracted. We're a nation that prides itself on multitasking, even behind the wheel. But as ABC's Paula Ferris discovers firsthand, one of the biggest distractions is something you may be driving with every day.
People seem to do all kinds of crazy and potentially dangerous stuff behind the wheel. Sometimes more focused on their chords and cones than keeping their eyes and minds on the road. And this is what happens when they don't.
In terms of the crash risk when you're texting or talking on the phone, is that crash risk is comparable to driving when you're drunk at a 0.08 blood alcohol level.
There are more than 5 million traffic accidents reported every year, nearly 10 every minute, and an estimated 80% of them are due to distracted driving. But it turns out something you might do every day, driving with kids in the back seat, is an even worse distraction. And one you might not even realize. In a first-of-its-kind study, Australian researchers recently found that children accounted for 12% of all potentially distracting activities, more than talking to the front seat passenger, more than adjusting a seat or seat belt.
Quit!
Drivers are breaking up fights.
Stop it!
And calming fussy babies. Laura Lickman's been there.
Okay, can you get in your seat, please?
As a mom of 2 active twin boys, Laura's experienced the added level of distraction that can often come with pint-sized passengers.
I think that my kids are more distracting than talking on the phone, maybe just because I feel more obligated to attend to their needs. It's really challenging to just do the task at hand and just drive.
Doing good?
I consider myself a safe driver, so I put myself to the test. I'm a mother of 2.
We do driver distraction research.
With the help of a few cameras in my car, we asked an expert, Charlie Clower from Virginia Tech, to judge how safe my driving really is. She and her team analyzed those precious seconds they call eyes off the road, and they agreed to assess my driving.
You are traveling probably 55, 60 miles an hour here
on the
at
highway.
Yeah. And look at the eyes off road time right there. That's a lot.
Look again. I only took my eyes off the road for 1 second, and in that time, traveled 75 feet. Watch as I grab a snack wrapper. Point out sights.
And grabbing your cell phone and look at the eyes off road time right there. That's a lot.
I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. The only thing worse than driving with distracting kids is using a cell phone at the same time. Texting and driving is illegal in 39 states, including New York, where Police Sergeant Joel Cordone hunts drivers who may be violating the state's handheld cell phone and texting ban.
Look at a texture in progress.
Everywhere he looks, he seems to find someone driving with a phone in their hand.
Morning, Sergeant Cordone with the City of Syracuse Police Department. Any reason why we're on the phone today?
I was just multitasking.
Multitasking. I don't look at it like going out and looking for the violators. I think the violators find us, to be honest with you.
Now, if you think using hands-free technology is safer, think twice. Researchers have proof that even hands-free car calls are just as distracting as holding onto that cell phone. Here's your brain with no distractions turning right, the orange area representing activity in the part of the brain that controls vision and alertness. But turning left against traffic requires substantially more concentration, and your brain nearly short circuits trying to talk, drive, and make smart decisions at the same time. The energy used to process vision is instead diverted to an area that's processing the conversation. Which could explain why this man on his scooter is nearly hit by this woman talking on her cell phone while turning left. Miss it? Here it is again.
You really looked at that stop sign. You really looked at that pedestrian, but you didn't see him. It didn't register because you were on the phone.
But there are ways to drive safer. First, set up car rules so your kids know what to expect. If they drop something, make sure they know you can't pick it up until the car stops. If you're tempted to take a phone call, consider an app like Zoom Safer. It blocks incoming calls and text messages by sending an automated response that you're driving and will answer when you can.
Nice hat, buddy.
And if you can't feed the kids before you leave, keep a snack bag close by. One of the few things I did right.
How would you rate my safety skills?
I would rate you 5 to 6 out of 10.
5 or 6? That's a failing grade.
The rearview mirror is kind of bad.
It
The
is?
rearview mirror is kind of bad.
Okay, I'll work on that.
For Nightline, I'm Paula Ferris in Blacksburg, Virginia.